Hi, this is Dr. Talorico, and today I'm going to talk about ladies and your hair. So, pretty common thing, more common than I would have thought, is that some women notice loss of hair as they age. And there are a couple of reasons for that, and they have a lot to do with a couple of different conditions. The first being a thyroid condition. So, when thyroid hormone is low, especially, one of the things that women will notice is that they lose hair and they also lose eyebrows. So especially this lateral third of the eyebrows starts to fall out. Also, the hair on the head will get thinner, and they'll notice that more hair is falling out in the shower, when they're doing their hair, all these different things. So sometimes thyroid is due to a deficiency of a mineral called iodine. So most people get their iodine from iodized salt. So when you use salt like sea salt or pink salt, that actually doesn't contain very much iodine at all, and the regular iodized salt is going to be a better source of iodine. But you need iodine for a number of different things. You need iodine to run your kidney. You need iodine to make stomach acid. You need iodine to make myelin for your brain. You need iodine to just basically power your metabolism, and it's also used as a counterbalance to estrogen. So women who develop estrogen dominant symptoms oftentimes have an iodine deficiency. And so there are some blood tests, iodine in serum and other places, but they're not the best ways. So there are a couple different ways of getting iodine. The other thing that is enormously important for hair is actually iron. So iron deficiency is still the #1 deficiency on the planet, and we see this far more often than you would ever think. So I see this probably a few times a week in my office, and I like to give desiccated liver capsules, for iron, which sounds kind of disgusting, but iron is liver is one of the best sources of iron, and it has this what's called heme iron, which is bound to proteins that make it very absorbable. So there's a couple of reasons why women will be iron deficient, especially, and why it affects their hair. So iron deficiency can come with women that have a heavy menstrual cycle, or it could be from their diet where they're not consuming much iron-rich foods. So the best foods for iron are, of course, things like liver, red meats, but also spinach, kale, some of the dark green leafy veggies. And sometimes people can eat all of those things and still have iron deficiency because they're not absorbing very well and not assimilating very well. So one of the little tricks we do with that is we suggest that you use something acidic, something like apple cider vinegar, or if you have a pretty significant iron deficiency, we also recommend that you use something called betaine HCl with pepsin. And what that does is that stimulates the digestion, but also provides an acidic background for that iron to be well absorbed. People who take things like protonics and the acid blockers, they can develop some iron deficiency as well because their iron level in their belly, it's not getting absorbed well because there's not adequate acid there. So there's some blood tests that we can do to check for iron deficiency, and one of those is just checking your iron. One of the things we call a total iron binding capacity, which is just a test, but then another test is called ferritin level. And ferritin is a protein molecule that is like the repository for all the iron in your body. And so we want this ferritin level to be in that optimum range. So here's the range of all the people who come into the lab. This is the very low, the sickest people, and these are the people who have like a problem. We want you to be in there. You don't want you to be at either end of that range. So a lot of times somebody will come in and they have a ferritin level that is normal, but they're showing all the signs of iron deficiency. Their hair is falling out, they're lethargic, they have all these different signs that say, hey, we just don't have enough iron. And then ferritin's very low, but they're still textbook normal, but they need more, so they're not optimum. So desiccated liver capsules, there are ferrous-based supplements. Some are better than others. I'm going to put a couple in here that I think are better than others. I do not like that slow iron. I think that that is not well handled. It causes lots of gastrointestinal issues. It causes constipation. People that just generally don't do well on it. I also think it triggers some reaction in the gut. So people who take it, sometimes it just makes them sick and they don't do well with it at all. So these are two things, iron and iodine, that could be affecting your hair. So ladies, look at these two things. And also, there's a little test I have that you can find out if you have enough stomach acid, that you're absorbing your foods well. It's basically a quarter teaspoon of baking soda and 8 ounces of water first thing in the morning. You drink that down. You start a timer for 5 minutes. If in 5 minutes you don't have a good burp, then you probably don't have enough stomach acid, and you can use things like apple cider vinegar or the betaine ACL or some of the other things to stimulate better digestion. All right, that's it. Questions, comments, leave them here. If you got value from it, share it, give it out, give it to somebody else, and we'll see if we can help them. All right, thank you. Have a good one.